Today, Uruk's ruins bake under Iraq's scorching desert sun. Its crumbling mud bricks whisper of a forgotten past. But rewind 6,000 years, and Uruk was a vibrant metropolis, nestled in lush marshlands fringed with palm groves and fed by the mighty Euphrates. Once home to perhaps 40,000 to 50,000 people, likely the world's largest city at the time, this ancient powerhouse birthed the legend of Gilgamesh and pioneered writing, monumental architecture, the ziggurat, and the cylinder seal. Uruk wasn't just a city, it was the cradle of civilization. The name Uruk likely comes from ancient roots reflecting its position on the riverbank or edge. Located in southern Mesopotamia, the land between the rivers, east of the modern Euphrates and what is now Iraq's Muthanna Governorate, about 30 kilometers east of Samarwa. Before it became one of the world's first true cities, Uruk emerged from the union of two distinct settlements, Kulaba, associated with the sky god Anu, and Inanna, dedicated to Inanna, goddess of love, war, and fertility. Both traced roots to the earlier Ubaid culture, which brought advanced agriculture, irrigation, hierarchical society led by priests, and long-distance trade reaching the Persian Gulf, Indus Valley, and beyond. By around 4000 BCE, these communities merged. The Persian Gulf shoreline was then much farther northwest, creating fertile wetlands ideal for farming. This unification, building on Ubaid foundations, marked the dawn of urban life in the Uruk period, roughly 4000 to 3100 BCE. Agriculture was the backbone of Uruk's transformation. The fertile floodplains of the Tigris and Euphrates demanded sophisticated irrigation. Canals, levees, reservoirs, barley, wheat, dates, figs, and legumes flourished. Domesticated animals provided meat, milk, wool, and labor. Surpluses fed specialists, craftsmen, priests, administrators, and filled temple granaries. Fish from rivers and marshes supplement diets. Clothing shifted from animal skins to wool for most people, and finer linen for elites. Trade exploded. Uruk exported pottery, textiles, grain, and more. It imported copper, lapis lazuli, timber, gold, and ivory from Egypt, Anatolia, the Levant, Iran, and the Indus Valley. Goods were exchanged through barter, tracked meticulously with early administrative tools. At its peak, Uruk spanned 400 to 550 hectares. Its layout featured two great precincts, Inanna and Nanna's domain, with temples, columned halls, and workshops, and Kulaba Anu, the sky god's area, with the white temple atop a massive terrace. Iconic finds include the Warka vase, a tall alabaster vessel carved with registers depicting offerings to Inanna, crops, animals, a priest king, and the Mask of Warka, one of the earliest naturalistic human faces, likely part of a cult statue. The city was encircled by a massive mud brick wall over 9 kilometers long, traditionally credited to Gilgamesh. Canals integrated urban and agricultural life. Common houses were modest mud brick courtyard structures. Elites had larger, decorated ones. Uruk pioneered key technologies. The potter's wheel enabled mass production, including standardized beveled rim bowls, possibly used for worker rations. Cylinder seals, small engraved cylinders rolled on clay, acted as signatures for administration, ownership, and trust in trade. Most revolutionary was proto-cuneiform writing, emerging around 3300 BCE in Inanna. Pictographs on clay tablets tracked grain, livestock, labor, and rations. It evolved from earlier clay tokens into full cuneiform, enabling bureaucracy, literature, and the preservation of knowledge. Early tablets record beer recipes, accounts, and names like Kushum, an early record keeper, alongside references to enslaved individuals. Mathematics, including the base 60 system still used in timekeeping in circles, along with standardized weights and measures, supported this growing complexity. Religion permeated every aspect of life. The polytheistic pantheon included Inanna, later Ishtar, Anu, Enki, god of wisdom and fresh waters, Enlil, air and storms, Shamash, sun and justice, and Nanna, moon. Temples served as economic and spiritual hubs. Priest kings performed sacred marriages with Inanna to ensure fertility and legitimacy. The Epic of Gilgamesh, with roots in earlier Sumerian tales, immortalizes Uruk's semi-divine king. Gilgamesh and his companion Enkidu slay Humbaba and the Bull of Heaven, confront mortality after Enkidu's death, and quest for immortality, ultimately finding meaning in the city's enduring walls and legacy. Other poems celebrated heroic deeds, the invention of writing, and the power of the gods. Uruk's dominance gradually waned after the Jemdet Nasser and early dynastic periods. Conquests by the Akkadians under Sargon and later powers, warfare between city-states, environmental challenges like salinization and drought, and shifting river courses contributed to its decline. It persisted under Babylonians, Assyrians, Persians, Seleucids, Parthians, and Sassanids, but as a shadow of its former self, eventually abandoned after the early Islamic era. Rediscovered by European explorers in the 19th century, systematic excavations began in 1912 under German teams, uncovering the city walls, precincts, thousands of tablets, and treasures like the Mask of Warka. Today, Uruk is recognized as part of a UNESCO World Heritage Site. Uruk pioneered urbanism, writing, administration, and monumental building. Its innovations shaped Mesopotamia for millennia and echo in our world today, from the wheel and writing to stories of heroism and the search for meaning. In the sands of time, Uruk remains the first great city, the cradle where civilization took its first monumental steps.